I'm Madhu Sharma and this is Design Mind. Every episode, we teach your mind about design by analysing a website. In this episode, we are looking at livingedge.com, which is an Australian high-end furniture retailer. The site contains many examples of design techniques that are traditionally found in furniture catalogues. The front page is particularly striking, with products surrounded by plenty of space. Text is placed in the lower right-hand corner, and the layout and design looks just like a furniture catalogue. The pager on this site consists of letters in circles and so represents the icons often found in catalogues. It's a simple technique, but the connection it has to product catalogues instantly communicates messages of elegance and class. Scroll down and we see the products are arranged in a strong grid layout. Subtle animation is used to make the products scroll in. This is a brilliant way of bringing the page to life and adding personality to it. It's also a useful orientation device, as it marks out an entry point in the grid for the user to look at first. The use of grey backgrounds for each image allows the grid to be strongly defined and so creates a stylish and modern feel. The grey background also ensures that there's no need to use coloured lines to mark out the grid, which stops the grid from being overpowering. Hover over the squares and the product title appears. Normally I don't like this technique, as the user relies on titles to decide which link to click on next, and so hiding them away requires the user to make a lot of unnecessary mouse movements before they can decide where to click. However, on this page it works really well, as it allows the photos to stand out more. Plus, on a furniture site, the user is going to rely more on product photos instead of text to choose which link they want to click on next. The product pages follow the style of the home page using a similar grid layout and the same product icon style pager. The user can tap on the icons to see a variety of images for each product. The user can also tap this magnifying glass icon to zoom in. Unfortunately, the zooming occurs within the square, which doesn't work quite well, as the user has to do lots of panning around the image to see it properly, which is a bit fiddly. It would have been better if a full screen lightbox had been used. It's also disappointing that the user has to use this pager to flip between the images, as in these days of touchscreen interfaces, the user's natural instinct is to perform a flipping action, but unfortunately this doesn't work. Underneath there's another slider which shows the different options that customers can order. Unfortunately the images are a bit small, so it's hard to tell the difference between the two options, at least when looking at the photos. It would have been better if the photos had been made a bit larger, so it was more obvious what the differences were. At the bottom of the page is this related products section, which reuses the grid layout from the home page. While the grid worked brilliantly on the home page, it feels a bit out of balance here, as it is too large and overpowering. Scaling it down a touch would have avoided this. The About Us page is beautifully designed, with content broken up into bite-sized chunks that the user can easily understand at a glance. On the left is this menu, which allows users to jump between sections. On the right is this pager, which mirrors the functionality. Duplicating this functionality was a poor design choice, as when clicking on a heading on the left, the user is instantly distracted by the colour change that occurs on the page on the right. This causes their eyes to skip over the content and look directly at the pager. It would have been better if this pager had been placed with the headings on the left. The sustainability page takes a much playful approach to the grid, with text and images moving to overlap each other as the user scrolls down. It's a nice twist on the grid, but I don't think it works especially well, as the overlapping looks a little bit messy. Overall, Living Edge is a great example of how to translate print design techniques to the web. Although some of the ideas have minor execution problems, the site on the whole has a distinctive style and modern feel, which helps to make the users more interested with the products on sale. That's it for this episode of Design Mind. A new episode of Design Mind is released every Monday and Thursday. Find us on the web at designmind.info. Our YouTube channel is at youtube.com/designmindinfo. You can also find us on iTunes. We'd love it if you could leave us a review at any of these places. Until next time, happy designing!